Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Right here with Spears.
How y'all feel out there?
Steinberg. What time is it? Game time. Hey guys, just real quick, Andy, not that time makes any difference to you guys, but Andy had said that we were going to do the podcast in my room at 1:30. Well, he wrote 1:30/2 o'clock as though to say, what time you want to do it? And I said, well, all right, let's go for 1:30. He ended up coming at 2.
well, 1:55.
Motherfucker, it's 2, damn it.
1:45 is almost 2.
So I opened the door and I said, damn, so you really meant 2, huh? And his bowels was fucked up. So it caused him, I don't want you to tell the shit story, but anyway, he as he came in the room, he was telling me about some dream he had, right?
Yeah.
All right, what was the dream? You said it involved me?
It doesn't necessarily involve you. You're in the dream. So it involves you a little bit because you speak in the dream.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, man. First of all, I don't remember my dreams for the most part, unless something happens that startles me.
You don't remember your reality.
Yeah. Unless I wake up. I have to wake up and then it has to
right.
I have to absorb that dream to remember it. So I had this dream and I was like, God, I want to tell this on the podcast, but it could be a little homoerotic. I don't know if that would be what people would call this.
Well, first you said it was you said gay.
I said gay, it could be homoerotic.
But then you said homoerotic, and I said, that's worse.
Well, here's what it is. You judge for yourself. I didn't find it gay at all, but I just know how people are. So
yeah, but white guys, most things involving gay shit, y'all don't think it's gay.
Here's the shit. Here's how the dream started.
Oh, no.
So we're Spears and Steinberg. Our podcast is on the road, and we're at some comedy convention. I don't know what the convention is. There's just comics, wall to wall. Everybody you could imagine is at this convention.
Okay.
Everyone.
So far, so safe.
Guys, girls, all the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some things and events that are happening. And then this event goes on where I don't know if we're where we are. Like it feels like it's like an indoor swimming pool. We have an indoor swimming pool, by the way, here at the club. So that's why I think not the club, the hotel that we're staying at. And I think, well, maybe that's, this is later evaluating. So let's not even worry about that. So it's like this big clubhouse off the pool. But what we did is we separated from all the women and we were going to go have this big comic agenda. There's this
so far not so safe.
A big conference, there was a big circle with all these chairs and all the comics are sitting in the chairs. And
I have to ask, why did we separate from all the women?
Because we went into like this locker room, where it was the all dude locker room, and we're gonna have this comedy conversation, and it was dudes on. Like the women went to go have theirs, the dudes went to go have theirs. But man, this room has fucking heavy hitters, but from all different age groups. Buddy Hackett was in the room. I remember Alan King was in the room. That really surprised me. Who else was in the room? Milton Berle's in the room. Mm-hmm. And you're in the room. The person that's not in the room that I'm surprised about is Richard Pryor. But
everybody else is there.
Everybody, Dave Chappelle's in the room. Like every comic that you can is Bill Burr's. Everybody who's big right now is in that room. Danielle's in the room. I mean, everybody like who's associated in some kind of ways in that room. And like I'm feeling like, what am I doing in this room? But we're doing this we're doing a podcast. Not interview with one person, but like a think tank comedy podcast where we're just going to get all these views and opinions. And we're sitting there, and I don't know if this becomes a steam room or what. And this is where it gets a little weird. I don't know if everybody's fully dressed or not fully dressed, but everybody is. No one is. There's nothing out. It's just that everybody's just real comfortable. They're on these chairs, and this person walks in and goes, Dave Chappelle, and Dave stands up, and Dave is butt ass naked. And then Dave sits down very casually. Nothing gets said. No one says anything. It's just a very quiet room. And I look at everybody in the room and I say, are we all going to pretend like we just didn't see Dave's dick? And then you say,
that's why he's the GOAT, nigga.
He had a giant dick that came out and he just sat on the chair almost like side-eyed, that Dave look, and doesn't say anything. And the whole room bust out laughing. And then I woke right up.
So am I saying that he's the GOAT because of his
He's the comic GOAT. Now he's the legendary. Because this is what's funny. If you break down the joke afterwards, Milton Berle was known for having like the biggest dick in show business. I don't know if
I heard that.
Yeah. And Dave stood up, I'm serious, like to his knee dick. It was almost like, and I just like, and no one said anything. Everybody sat down. I'm like, are we just going to pretend like we just didn't see Dave's dick? And you go, yeah, that's why he's the GOAT. And that's, then I woke up and I was just, everybody was laughing. Everybody cracked up laughing. That's the end of the dream.
Keep me out your dreams, man. Please. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, that's, yeah. Homoerotic.
I don't think it's any of that. I just thought it was a funny ass fucking dream. Dave's the big dick motherfucker in the room. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in all my years of dreaming, I've never dreamt of a man's dick. Ever.
It was the comedy situation that made it funny. Yeah, do what you want to do with that joke. That's what I said. I know people listening to this, some people are going to think that's funny, and other people are going to go, that's gay shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to do with it.
On to other news.
You're going to say that we're in Milwaukee?
Yes, we are in Milwaukee. And I actually, I don't know what the distance is.
Let me get my Phoenix.
From Milwaukee to St. Louis. But we were in St. Louis last.
It's not far at all.
Yeah, and in terms of the proximity, and it just all reminded me, because when I was in my shower, I wish you hadn't told me that dream, because now, based on what I'm going to say, this is just going to feel like, some what are they doing? Where are they going? So I was going to make this point. I had it in my notes. I swear to God, I was going to make this point prior to me finding out about this dream. But now I feel like, come on, man. Damn. But here it goes. Because I meant to mention this when we were in St. Louis, but I forgot. And I think we had so much on the table that it just slipped my mind. But this shower and where my air conditioning unit is. Folks, if you ever find yourselves in St. Louis, downtown St. Louis, and you stay at the Clayton Plaza Hotel, and one of the things that I've always done is I'm taking notes, because I go, dude, when I get ready to buy my next house, which is going to be the Casa de Castle, the Dream Mansion, I take notes sometimes when I go to different hotels all over the country, and I go, boom, I like this about this hotel. I like this feature, that feature. And I go, when I get my crib, I'm a include all these different features from various hotels to make my house. And the shower in St. Louis, I think there was only one other hotel. There's a hotel when I used to go do Zanies in Nashville, where they have electrical push button. You set the temperature. The temperature, yeah. And the fucking water quickly within seconds adjusts to the temperature. And I thought it was some fly shit. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna make sure when I get the crib, I'm gonna have this in my crib. Now, in St. Louis, yes, they had the temperature thing. But what was so key was the water pressure was so strong. And when you got the right water pressure and the right heat, and I mean, steam is coming off that motherfucking water. Dude, and you take the handle shower head, the one that you can move around.
Because they have multiple, and you can pick.
They have multiple. You can pick. You can pick the one that comes out of the wall, and you could pick up the wand, and you just, dude, when you let that water shoot up your nuts, and you turn that shower head up, and you let that pressure and that steam shoot up your nuts and up your ass, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, I mean, fellas, and I know some of y'all, and what makes it worse is Andy told the fucking dream. So this just seems like homo hour. And that's not what this is. But I'm telling you, the massage, it's like a massage going on to your body. and it's hitting you all at once. It's like you got 3 little miniature Asian women, all the size of golf balls. And one is in your ass, massaging the inside of your ass. Another one's massaging your nuts, and the other one's hanging on your dick. And it's not just one Asian woman. It's an Asian woman and her partners. Man, that motherfucking massage. Whoa! And now here in Milwaukee, and I know I did this bit before on the podcast, so I may have to repeat it because we don't get many of them. Most of the hotels we stay in, the air conditioning units are, in the wall up towards the ceiling. But this hotel has one on the floor, basically, the vents. And I'm telling you, when y'all get out this shower right here, dude, and you are soaking wet. Matter of fact, Steve, I'm going to count you in. And when I count you in, but what I'm going to say is, Steve, give me the Jamaican music. But I'll count you in and 1, 2, 3. But I'll say, Steve, play the music, nigga. So I'm counting you in. I'm going to say it first. Well, I'm counting you in first. And then I'm going to say it. And then Steve, put it over that. So I'm counting you in 3, 2, 1. Dude, I'm telling you, when you get out that shower and you wet and you walk to that air. Steve, give me the Jamaican music. When you get out the shower, man, and you put your leg up on top of the air conditioning unit and you let the cool breeze shoot all throughout your nuts and up your ass. It's the best thing in the world, man. The only thing better than that is you got to be holding a red stripe and drink the beer and sit there while your leg is elevated. One leg elevated up and the other leg flat down. And you let the cool breeze shoot throughout your whole body, butt naked and wet. And ladies, again, you could do the same thing for you when you get out the showers and the water is cascading past your nipples and you put your foot up on the air conditioning unit and let the cool breeze shoot through your vajayjay and all throughout your uterus. You got to do the same thing as the man and drink a red stripe. Only don't drink it from the bottle. Pour the beer and let it cascade past your nipples and take your free hand and cup your titty and slurp the beer from your breast. I know it was sexist, but that one was for us. And to all the feminists out there who didn't like that, back up, back up, back up. Oh, dude, hotel tricks is what I call them, to feel good. Now, I'm not just trying to be funny. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, men and women, if you do this, you by yourself and you put your foot up on that air conditioning unit and you butt naked and let that cool air shoot up your private parts. You're not only going to laugh because you're going to remember this moment, but your eyes are going to roll in the back of your head and you're going to go, that nigga was right.
Shouldn't they say something Jamaican sounding?
Yeah, man.
That's what they should say.
When you hear that, when that breeze hits your nuts and the inside of your ass and up your vajayjay and through your uterus, just go, yeah, man. Yeah. Steve, throughout that whole thing, let the Jamaican music playing till it's finished. But now we're finishing, counting out in 3, 2, 1.
I still think your story is gayer than mine.
What, the shooting of the water?
Yeah.
No, because there's nobody in that but me.
Yeah, but you're doing it to yourself.
That's all right. You know how much weird shit people do to themselves?
I don't know. Nothing happened in my dream. Nothing happened.
Dave's dick was out.
It was just out. We were just dudes in the locker room and people run around naked in the locker room. That happens. We just happened to see Dave's giant
right.
dick.
We just happened to see. Oh, God. By
the way, I'm wearing my feet. I want to make sure everybody sees that I'm in Milwaukee representing the Suns. Because I walked into a store. Aries went to the bathroom. There was a store that carried nothing but not Milwaukee, but Wisconsin merchandise. Wisconsin.
Right. Where'd you get that?
This I got in Phoenix. But I walked into the store and I go, "Do you guys got any Phoenix Suns merchandise?" And they just laughed and I walked out.
Drake. Did you hear about Drake?
From you.
Yo, Drake, soldier. You just gave niggas game. If y'all don't know, Drake fucked with well, I don't want to say she was a hooker, a groupie, I guess. Matter of fact, let Let me see something. Yeah. You fuck with this groupie and this model or some shit.
Did he give her name?
Instagram model.
Instagram model.
And this is according to her. She's trying to sue him for $1 million because she apparently had sex with him and he nutted in the condom and then he took the condom off and I guess he had some hot sauce packets with him and he put some hot sauce in the condom so that in the event she tried to impregnate herself with his semen, it wouldn't work. And needless to say, the hot sauce burned her and now she's suing him for $1 million. Let me read exactly what her shit was. Okay. Too much hot tea. Allegedly, Drake and the Instagram model allegedly met up on Instagram, and the two decided to link up a few weeks ago. The model and Drake had a romantic encounter, and what happened next was, well, crazy. After the party, they went back to his hotel. They smoked weed for a bit, and he asked if she wanted to have sex. She said he was very intent on ensuring things were consensual. They started with a wee bit of foreplay. He rubbed and sucked her titties for a bit. He then went to the bathroom and came out with a condom on. She said he's about 7 inches thick and cut. They fucked for about 20 minutes. He mostly hit it from the back and eventually came inside the condom. Immediately afterward, he went back into the bathroom to dispose of it. She fished the condom out of the trash, untied it, and put the opening end into her vagina. Boy, was she in for a surprise. She said it felt like pouring hot lava into her pussy. She screamed and Drake ran into the bathroom. He admitted that he poured a packet of hot sauce in the condom to kill the sperm. Now the Instagram model is threatening to sue Drake.
What a strong move. But you know who's laughing right now?
Who?
Dave, because it's only 7 inches in girth.
Stupid. Will you get off this? Oh, God. Jesus, man.
That was too funny not to say, man.
Boy, you know, it's so amazing. Men, we catch so much flack for being dirty dogs and fucked up. And we are.
Yeah. But obvious about it.
Obvious about it. Some of these women, man, are they play on a level. There should be laws for this. Because think about that. If he hadn't have done it, and I know to anybody that might go, yo, he was wrong for that. That's foul. That's fucked up. Was it?
Yeah, he wasn't expecting her to go in there to get it. He was killing the semen. He said that's what he said.
But he's no. But come on now. You don't just pour hot sauce in a condom for the sake of it. You're doing that to go in case this bitch tries to get me. Nope. He was protecting himself twice.
Okay, but he put it in the trash. He didn't put it where someone annoyed him.
I said to you when I first told you, well, nigga, if you're trying to prevent her from doing sneaky shit, why not just flush it down the toilet?
What if he's done that before and there was a backup of the toilet? Something happened. He got caught in the toilet and fucked up the toilet.
Nah, once that condom and once that semen hits that water, it's no good either.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's the 100% way to go about it. But if you're gonna put it in the garbage, yes, nigga, that's genius. Because for somebody to be that foul, where you go, I'm gonna take this semen unbeknownst to him, put it in me, so nigga, now you gotta pay me child support.
Yeah.
That should be illegal.
That's Chris Rock's joke where he said men tell more lies, women tell bigger lies.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, when he says it that way. Yeah,
right.
He said, like we say, we were out with so-and-so and they say the baby's yours.
Right.
So that was his.
Well, I even like it better when Chris Rock said, y'all wear push-up bras. Them ain't your real titties. You wear fake nails. That ain't your fingernails. You wear makeup. That ain't your real face. You got to wear wigs. That ain't your real hair. But you want a real man. Man, nigga.
Yeah. Dude, I it's unbelievable. But do you think she has a case?
This is what's so fucked up. She could. Because it's almost like in America, in the world, I don't know about the rest of the world, how their courts and shit work. But here, you can sue anybody for anything. I think it's crazy that they say that if you have a home that has a skylight and somebody was trying to break in your home and the burglar falls through the skylight, through the ceiling and injures himself, he can sue you.
Yeah.
While he's breaking in your shit.
He had no business up there.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I'm like, dude, you could sue anybody for anything. She shouldn't have a case. She should be in trouble.
She should be. You know, that's the kind of thing that I hope if they did go to court and she won, though, they gave her, the jury would say how much she's rewarded. Hope they give her $1 then.
They should give her the price of the condom.
Yeah. And a packet of hot sauce.
And a packet of hot sauce.
A coupon to Popeyes. You get a packet.
I wonder what kind of hot sauce did he use? Not that it matters, but.
What's in a packet?
Oh, okay. So it's got the only packets of hot. Well,
Tampico.
That and what Popeyes give. Louisiana hot.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 packets
I've
I've ever.
And then Popeyes has that. It's not hot sauce, though. It's a dipping sauce. Never mind. It's supposed to be spicy, though.
Like the hottie sauce?
Yeah. But that's not. I'm sure he's not carrying that around. It's probably
that's
just
by Megan Thee Stallion. That'll probably get you pregnant anyway.
You just add that to the condom and a kid grows out of it.
Right. Hey man, listen. Shit, fellas, protect yourselves. Get you some condom. Get you some hot sauce packets. I guess you could put anything in there though. Mustard, ketchup, anything would kill that interrupts the sperm.
Yeah, but it has to kill it. Like maybe the vinegar and mustard. I don't know. I don't think ketchup kills anything. It's just sugar water.
But anything can contaminate. Sperm is just supposed to be by itself. Anything you do to fuck with it contaminates it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't think that everything kills it because, there's shit going on.
You have a baby that smells like ketchup.
Forever. Mom, why do I always smell like ketchup? I wash and wash and wash.
Oh my God.
Dude, so what would your reaction be? You hear the girl scream and you run in there and there she is.
I knew it, bitch.
That's it?
That would be it.
Get out.
Get out. Fuck that. I knew it. That's foul. What a sneaky bitch. God, man.
And see, this is how there's no shame in this, though. She knows what she did, and she knows she was wrong.
And she knows what she was trying to do.
But she's claiming that he's more wrong. That was more foul than what she was doing.
Oh, the nerve.
No, seriously, though, a burning vagina for whatever amount of time it takes to cool down. It probably needs a cup of milk. Milk is like what? Or 18 years and having and raising a kid. And which one is she saying was more shady?
See, now you probably just gave them sneaky women game. Next time they're going to carry milk with them. So they put the condom in there with the hot sauce in the pussy and then pour the milk in the pussy and that soothes it out and they can still have the baby.
Dude, it's like people are going in with the lunchroom. He's bringing in fucking all kinds of things, all packets. They're coming in with milk and cookies. And it's gonna get crazy.
This movie, which came out on Netflix, with Leonardo, and they had a good cast: Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep. Who else was in it? Was there somebody else noteworthy in it?
There's quite a few. Well-known actors in it.
Yeah, but there was one more. Oh, Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
Jonah Hill. Called "Don't Look Up," and again, this is Leonardo DiCaprio, so you can pretty much take it to the bank that it's going to be at least a decent movie, a pretty decent movie. And I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh, this is fitting to be good," because the way it started out. But then it felt like there was these tones of comedy. And I'm like, is this serious? Is this supposed to be a drama or is this a comedy?
I was thinking about it since we saw it. And this is, how you said comedy or what. But what's the one where Will Smith goes in and blows up the spaceship and saves the planet?
Oh, fucking Men in Black.
No, not Men in Black.
No. Independence Day.
Okay. Doesn't that have all comedy through it too? And he's going to go. The only difference between this one is no one saves the earth. It's not savable.
No, but I think the difference is in Don't Look Up. This felt like it was. Well, no, let me not say that. in Independence Day, you knew what it was. These aliens, it's his job to, they trying to save the earth. But yes, there's chuckles to be had.
Yeah.
But this thing, Don't Look Up, felt like it started out like this is a really serious end of the world movie. But then it took on a tone where I'm like, I'm not sure what this is.
I mean,
it took a weird, like, are we supposed to take this seriously? Like, you took Independence seriously based on what it was. But yes, there were some funny moments. This felt like you were supposed to take this serious, but then it got funny.
But isn't that a reflection of what's going on right now? We're supposed to be taking this seriously, but we're joking about it. We're not doing anything about it. Nothing's happening. Nothing changes. We go back and say, yeah, we got to do this, but then nothing really happens. I mean, it's a reflection of what's happening now. When I compared it to Independence Day, that comedy that's in there wouldn't have been funny if he would have gone up there and the aliens killed him and they just come and blow up the earth. And you'd be going, what was that? They didn't save the earth. And why were they trying to make it funny? What happened?
I guess. And it's funny that you bring up Independence Day because I actually thought about that movie the other day because it was on. And it reminded me, and like I said, people, that Patrice O'Neal, Opie and Anthony moment where they, him and Jim Norton shit all over the movie with the Hebe Kikeberger. But there was another moment that Patrice pointed out that I thought about where he goes, he says to the president or whatever, yes, I think I could fly the ship to the mothership so we could do what we need to do because I'm well aware of their maneuvering capabilities. And then that's when Patrice said, nigga, I know how trains work. But you mean to tell me you just gonna fly an alien ship into the fucking mothership and you know they maneuvering capabilities just because you've seen them? Like, that's lazy writing. Like, I know how DC-10s move, nigga. And what made me think about it was I remember the scene when him and Goldblum get into the alien ship and I'm like, nigga, there's seatbelts. The aliens got seatbelts, nigga.
Yeah, they have big heads, man.
Like, again, we know suspension of disbelief, but they're aliens. They're another completely different life form from somewhere else in the universe, in the galaxy. And this speaks to American cockiness, but they're still like us. They got seatbelts, nigga, because aliens in the galaxy are crashing into shit, and without the seatbelts, their bodies are flying through the windshields.
The little bodies can't hold up them big heads, so they have to have something to keep it
fucking out of here, nigga. They take seatbelts in the spaceship.
Yeah, they take a quick turn, and that big head will roll them right out of the seat if they're not strapped in.
And it's so fucking stupid to think, and I know we've gone from Don't Look Up to all of a sudden aliens, but it's so fucking stupid to think, so you know how to get, you know what the controls are. You know what does what.
Exactly.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's all basically the same. Once you get inside, it's all the same.
Get the fuck out of here at an emergency break. And then, towards the end of the movie, that thing where they all, I guess some of the rich people or some people could go somewhere else.
Get into the rocket ship. And we discussed this in a serious matter before in the podcast and when I said, yeah, they're not planning on saving the earth. They're just planning on getting the ship and leave.
I believe that. I believe you. I believe that. I believe that because, we live in a class society.
Yeah.
That if some meteor were going to hit the earth and destroy all of mankind, that the rich and certain people have already been, plotted their survival, while the poor and the niggas are left to doom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
better get rich.
Well, you don't, there's no buddy passes on these rockets that they're taking to outer space right now. I mean, it's you paying whatever.
These exorbitant amounts of money.
Yeah. To go for a little fun ride to go into outer space. But why are they doing this? Because they're going to start taking people for $8. Southwest Airlines is going to buy a rocket and start taking to the moon for 99 cents.
Boy, you broke motherfuckers is in trouble.
But I mean, that's why I said this movie is just a reflection of everything that's happening today. And that's why it is funny. And when the part at the very end, I'm going to jump to the end and we can go back and fill it in. But when Meryl Streep says, her character says, well, they have a way now to tell you how they die. They can tell you the future. They can tell you what's going to happen.
Right.
And she says, you're going to get eaten by, and they said this animal that no one's ever heard of the name. And I don't even remember what the name of bronchiolitis, whatever it was.
Right.
And she gets out and they're walking around and they're
butt naked.
Yeah. And they're on this new planet. They're all naked. They had to sleep in the thing.
Pods and shit.
Yeah. And so they get out and they're walking around and this animal dinosaur like comes over and eats Meryl Streep. And the guy goes, oh, what happened to her? And he goes, well, apparently she was eaten. And he says the name of the animal again because they saw the future. And everybody can see the future. That's the point of that. Everybody can see the future, but what are we going to do about it?
Damn.
Some of it is that you can't do nothing about it. They saw how she was going to die and she did. She died that way in the movie. But I thought the thing that we didn't say, Leonardo DiCaprio, who has played these fucking stellar characters, and even and I don't know if you ever did see the Irreverent.
Nah.
And I wish you would have, but he played that even with minimal words and still played this bigger than life character.
Right.
This character that he plays in here, he had to take that acting skills really shows that he was able to play him. He's a professor. He took it way down. He took it down to he's playing a regular guy. And you know what he seemed like on stage and why a lot of people aren't going to like this? Dude was a regular fucking guy. He went home to his family.
Yeah.
He didn't have any. There was no big Leo moments in this movie.
Right. Yeah. I don't know that this is one of my. Matter of fact, I do know this is not one of my favorite Leo movies.
No,
it didn't.
Because there's nothing to. But how hard is it to play a regular? I think it would be harder to play a guy in that low key way and capture who that person is. And he did that. But the movie isn't exciting that way. The movie isn't exciting that way. I mean, the movie is honestly, I think, was made and is as satirical as it may seem to some. I think it's not satirical. It's a reflection of what's going on right now.
Listen, I don't want to get too far off topic. Excuse me. But I do think there's a connection to be made because we're talking about basically classism and money. But I was watching the news yesterday, and what I knew was going to eventually happen is starting to happen. Whereas in New York, all these people are facing eviction because the time has run out in terms of, hey, look, there was a pandemic. You know, we knew that you motherfuckers was out of work or losing your jobs and you couldn't pay your rent. So we're not going to force you out on the streets. So we're going to let you have some time. We're going to, give you some room. But now the landlords are going, we want our fucking rent. And there's still a lot of people out of work. Still people that have lost their jobs and who can't get work. And a lot of people are facing eviction. And they had one black lady, and she was like, and this ain't right, and this is bullshit, and my rent is $100 a month. And I just went, holy fuck, $100 a month. Now I don't want to sound like a dick, but I'm thinking to myself, how bad is your living conditions that your rent is only $100 a month and you can't afford that?
Well, rent control, but how can you not afford the $100 a month? I understand the question you're asking. But with rent control, I mean, it could be a decent place. I'm not saying
$400.
Rent control, maybe they've had it forever, that apartment.
No, she didn't look like she
been in place for a long time.
Case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it, but no, I mean, for some people, it is going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard, but people don't even realize how much harder it's going to get. Because when they printed all that money, that made all the money that's in your bank account worth that much less by whatever percentage of how much money they made. Right. And as you watch inflation go up and continue to rise, and it's going to rise because money is not going to have the same value because there's more of it. They said they printed this, I forgot what the numbers were, but they printed more money in that 2 years than they printed in basically since the Federal Reserve. So your money is going to be worth a lot less. And that means the few people that were still in the middle class that have savings and have retirement accounts, all that shit's going to be wiped out by this inflation.
So bottom line, and I got two questions. This is the first one. Are poor people just fucked?
Well, it depends. Are you used to being poor and can you live in that poor way? Yes. So are they fucked or are they the same? The people in the middle, they're the ones that are really going to get fucked. They're going to get taxed. They're going to lose. The money's going to be worth less, and they're going to move to that poor class. So those people that have done everything that they were told to do, those are the ones that are going to be really fucked.
Here's my second question, and I want you to answer this as honestly as possible. And part of me feels like I know what stance you're going to take because it ain't like you're swimming in dough. So I don't know if you'll really be able to answer this. All right, let me just ask. Have you ever felt when you've gotten a certain amount of money or based on your status, when you know you've had, God, how do I want to say this? Not to say that not to say that you've ever felt better than someone else or bigger than someone else or looked down on someone. But when you have a certain amount of money or your situation is better than most, have you ever felt like you're to the little guy? And I don't know if that's actually even what I mean, because that sounds mean and wrong and fucked up. But I guess like what I'm trying to get to is, and I hate saying the words better than someone, but I get the sense that with rich people, they kind of,
there's an entitlement that goes along with that.
Yes, entitlement. I guess that's the word.
And that they feel like they shouldn't have to do the same things that other people who are struggling have to do.
And do you ever feel like they think they're better than?
Yeah, I think, but listen, here's the thing. We all struggle to be better than. And I know that's going to sound fucked up and it doesn't sound like people are going, no, I don't.
No. Some people are happy where they are.
Yeah, some people are, but no.
Or not happy where they are, but they ain't trying to be better.
Okay, that's a good point. But a lot of people are trying to be better. Like, first, you sit in first class, right?
Yes.
Why? What's wrong with the coach?
Well, leg room, convenience, more comfort. Everything's just better.
So, and you feel you deserve that versus someone who's sitting in coach. So I'm not judging you on this. I'm just saying, are you better than the people that are in coach then? You strove to be better so that you could have more leg room, more comfort, and enjoy that flight better than the person in coach. I'm not saying you're better than, but we do strive to do better than coach sometimes. I can sit in coach. I don't care. I'm not using the, I'm using
but
that.
But do you really not care?
Dude, if I'm on a 1 hour flight, do I give a fuck? No, I really don't. And to me, it's a sliding scale. If they told me I'm going to be on let's say it's a 5 hour flight. I'm going to be on a 5 hour flight and it's $200 to fly in coach, and I have money. Let's just say I have the money and it's $2,000 to fly in first class, but I can get a decent seat on an aisle. Dude, I'm keeping my $1,800 fucking dollars.
I'm going to tell you something that Steve Harvey said.
I saw it.
Where he said, just if you can, once in a while.
That's why I brought up flighting.
Just try to save some money, enough money, and get a first class ticket and feel that.
Because it will want to make you do what?
Better, be better.
So better and better than are two different things, I guess is what I'm trying to get to.
Well, Andy, it is I, Bartholomew Carrington III. I know when I fly, I prefer first. It's a better life. It's better peanuts. It's more salt. Everything is just better. As far as my maid, Consuela, she stays with the minions and the Crichtons in coach or baggage. Are you comfortable back there, Consuela? Bueno, que sí. Tú está bien. How do you say, por favor, recalta Montemon. Oh, the dialogue is killing me. Oh, flight attendant, close the curtains. I don't want my air mixing with their air. Good day.
How do you feel when someone from coach comes to use the bathroom in first class?
Well, here's what I wanted to say. Now, and this is why I was trying to get to, do you ever feel better than? Oh, God, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. There are moments. I have moments where I'll be sitting in first, and what kills me is like the people that get onto the plane, they immediately look up at the seat number, and they're looking, the moment they get in the first class area, they're looking up. I'm like, what the fuck you looking up for? You know goddamn well you'll see they up in this area. You get to start looking when you get past these curtains. And there are times when, you know, I'll be in the seat and I see the person come up from coach to use the bathroom. I go, hey, your shit is back there. That's still the asshole in me a little bit though. I'm just like, why are you in my section?
But
and it's so that's what I mean. Like sometimes I feel like, you know, I've earned this. I've you know.
Well, you paid for it. And I'm going to be real honest with what Steve Harvey said. To do that, to understand and to feel what it is to obtain a certain amount of success that you can enjoy a bigger seat in a less crowded area with a little bit more service and a bathroom that's used with probably about 8 to 10 people get to use that bathroom and it's available for you.
Right.
And it's cleaner because it's only had a few people in it. Yeah, man, you should strive to feel that and that will want to make you do better. But have I ever felt better then? Yes, I got to be honest. Sometimes I feel better than some assholes that are in my same category, my same level.
Right.
And I see them being fucking dicks to people.
Right.
Yes, I feel better than those people. I feel better than the people who turn their nose up at homeless people. Yes, I feel like I'm a better person than those people. Has nothing to do with my financial status. I feel when someone is at a certain level and they haven't educated themselves on certain things about life or history. Yes, I feel better than those people. Not as a human, but as educating myself. Yes, there's moments that I do feel better. That being said, I don't see myself wanting to leave the planet because there's problems here. And to what was happening in that movie, remember, and this is why it reflects to what's happening today. There was a chance that they could break up these meteors, the meteorite, and I said that wrong. But anyway,
the meteors.
Yeah, I said that's how the word's pronounced. I made it sound like food. Right. To break it up, because there was going to be riches inside of that, inside of those to mine, and the money would be amazing. And they were risking that over the population because if it doesn't work out, they can get on their rockets and leave, and we'll be here to fend for ourselves in the destruction of the world. And that's same thing as what's going on when we're talking about the planet, how we're taking care of the planet. We're overpopulated. We have over whatever. No, you know what words I'm trying to say. I just can't speak. But but you know that dude who's the smartest dude, the dude who talked into the toy, the smart guy.
Oh, what's his name? He's held as like the smartest guy on the planet.
Right? Yeah.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. He couldn't talk either. So fuck you guys. I just don't have that on toy yet. I'm sure it's coming.
Oh, karma.
Sure it's coming.
Make sure you only hit Andy.
I'm sure it's coming.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, you know, they're leaving the planet knowing that and I believe that they already believe they have an option.
Me now. I'm wondering who that guy is now because it's on the tip of my brain. Hold up. The smartest guy in the world that's in the wheelchair.
Like there's a different category for smart people in wheelchairs.
Wait, Siri, you hold up. What happened? It didn't do nothing.
No, see, I should have had my phone here.
Wait, I think it's because you were laughing. Hold on.
That is the funniest thing you said.
Wait. The smartest guy in the world that's in the wheelchair.
I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Stephen Hawking, right?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and he has to type it.
Andy, fuck you. One day you might be in a wheelchair too.
I think he passed away though recently, right?
Did he?
Not recently, but in the last few years.
Oh.
Anyway, but they know that if they can fuck up the planet and they can take these risks, and if it doesn't work out, I believe they think that they can go to another planet. I mean,
right.
I've already talked about this where they.
But I'm just wondering, and I mean, certainly there are rich people who are good people. But I'm just wondering that when you get to a certain status and you have a certain amount of money and you have the big house and the car, is there a part of you that instinctively feels that you're better than someone else?
I think it all depends on your humanity. I really do. I think if that, I think you were broken if money makes you a different kind of human being.
Okay.
But I do say, but that being said, does it make you a different kind of human being to be like, I'd rather pay to sit up here in a big seat and let those people sit back there? Because no matter what you say, it's those people now. You're up front, so those people are in the back. There's no other way to say it. With all the nice people on the back of the plane, I will be up here with this. No, it's those people in the back and those people in the front.
I'd say this. When I've walked from first class to the back of the plane to use the bathroom, and I just, as I'm walking and I'm seeing everybody like, sardines in a tuna can, or I'm going, I can't do this. How the fuck are you comfortable? And even when you go, it's only an hour flight. Even an hour flight, nigga, from LA to Vegas, I gotta go first class. Once you taste that life and what comes with that, going backwards is a no-no.
Dude.
And I'm just going, look how tight these motherfuckers are. Snug, no room to move. And like I said, in the first class, unless you get on those planes that have those cubicles, on the first class, it's just you and somebody else. And if you got the window seat and you want to go to the bathroom, you have to ask one person to get up. On coach, if you got the window seat in 3 rows, you got to get past 2 motherfuckers. You gotta potentially make 2 people go,
and they have to get up.
They have to,
because there's no room for you to walk by. There is a little bit of room where you said you don't want to step over anybody, but you could. I mean, you could in first class if you.
Yeah, but
yeah, I get that. Yeah, but I was on a flight. I said this on here before. Charles Barkley got bumped from a flight, or his flight didn't leave. Something happened. I don't know if he came in late. And I got bumped up to first class. I was already in that first class seat by the time he got over there. And so I'm sitting there and I see, and I assumed that they had another seat for Barkley, or they were finding out something, because I talked to him at the ticket gate or whatever. Yeah. And and I saw him going in, and he walked past first class. And I said, I called
he sat in coach.
I called the flight attendant over. I go, listen, I said, I got bumped up to the seat, and I appreciate the seat, but I don't understand how he's going to be comfortable, because he's 6'9", yeah, he's like 6'9", right?
Yeah, he's 6 big.
Yeah. And I said, please let Mr. Barkley know he could have my seat. She came back and she said, he told me to tell you he really appreciated it, but he's already comfortable in the seats with everybody back there, and he's going to hang out with his.
Yeah, that's that Alabama shit. That
so he took that seat.
Yeah. Now let me ask you: would you have done that if it was a black man that was just as tall but wasn't Charles Barkley?
Dude, I've almost done it for. I saw a really, really tall guy, and if he would have been cool, it was a really tall dude.
Right.
I would have given him my seat.
So you just giving seats away to big
No,
niggas?
because I saw he was older, and but he just, it was the gruffness.
Right.
I was like, now it's going to seem like I'm going to be that white dude.
So the gruffness is what turned you off.
It didn't turn me off. I was just like, he's fine without talking to me.
But Charles Barkley threw a motherfucker through a window.
Yeah, but it wasn't me. And Charles Barkley's cool with me.
Just like Phoenix thinking it was Barkley.
Dude, well, I talked to Barkley too earlier before the flight. So, I mean, it wasn't like I've
God, sitting back there and coach, I know everybody was bothering him probably.
He was in that first row, that first row when you go back there. So,
so just past first class.
So you got a little extra leg room and stuff there too. That's usually where I sit. He took my seat that I had. That's why I even felt worse, because what it was. But when I see veterans get on the plane, if it's one, and it's never happened to me where it was just one. If it's usually they'll come on all at the same time, and I've offered my seat, and they're going, no, we want to sit together.
Right. So
that didn't happen, and so now I just don't say anything if it's a group. But if it was one veteran that was on the plane, and I'd probably just get up and go, give my seat up.
Right.
Because I feel like I've been bonus that seat because I fly a lot, so I get the seat as a bonus. It's nothing that I paid for. So for me, I feel like I have to pay that forward.
All right. So did you like the movie or not?
I thought they could. I would have liked to seen it done a little differently. I do agree with you that the comedic part in it kept you in the movie, but it kind of made you wonder what the movie was. I understood what they were going for, but I don't know that it came through. I don't know that everybody's going to get what it is.
Yeah. As we segue into the seriousness stuff now, Let me just real quick. Hey, Steve, of course, I'm sure you already know, but for the Bartholomew, remember, include the music. I'm going to count us out of what I just said and back into the conversation in 3, 2, 1. I had 2 racial moments back-to-back weeks that I told you about yesterday. Folks, we're by the time you're listening to this, we'll be done with Milwaukee. And I've said this before, that I've had white people do this to me after shows. And I think I'm going to start, not to say I'm going to get nasty, but I'm going to start checking these motherfuckers. Because what happens is when they come up to me and they say it to me, I'm in the middle of just having finished my set. We're selling merch. There's 1,000 people around the table. It's autograph and picture time.
It's usually quite jubilant.
Oh,
thank you.
Jubilant. All right.
Yeah. It's quite a moment. There's a lot's going on.
Yeah, it feels like Mardi Gras, like New Orleans, Bourbon Street. But it's so funny because when this happens, there's a shock a little bit to the system that lasts for a couple of seconds, and then that subsides, and then you get angry. And again, I'm around a bunch of people and it's jubilant, so I don't want to cause a scene, but I'm starting to get like, fuck this shit. So I finish my show, and these 4 white people come to want a picture, and the white lady says to me, "Nigger, can I grab your junk?" Because I do the joke about taking the pictures with the dudes and the no homo, and how some dudes put their hand on my lower back and cause me to, be posing like a bitch now. And the no homo part, I guess in her head was her grabbing my dick. But she says to me, "Nigger, can I grab your junk for the picture?"
Is this why you got, and not that it really makes a difference, but I want to understand this because I didn't ask you. Right. Is this when was someone getting ready to take the picture at the time, or was she just standing across from you at the time?
No, they were all in position to pose.
Okay, so it was already posing time.
Posing time.
So you didn't really have any time. You were in a different headspace completely.
And again, when you hear it, it's like, what? And I just, again, my biggest thing was I didn't want to cause a scene, but it really pissed me off more than it has in the past, because this ain't the first time somebody white was so comfortable that they said that to me. And I've made up in my mind going forward, if someone does that, I'm not going to gorilla out, but I'm going to make my presence felt. I'm going to make my voice be heard. Like, come on, man. Like, what would make someone think it's okay to say that to you? And I'm not even going to try to validate it with that dumb shit where I go, man, she didn't even use the GA. She didn't say nigga, because it still wouldn't have been cool. But when you hear that with the ER, like nigger, I'm like, wow.
I know we're gonna talk about this for a little bit, but I don't want to take it too deep. But we're in Wisconsin, and this is my first time I've ever been here. First time I've ever been to Milwaukee, and going to St. Louis. I feel it in St. Louis, and I've been told that that's a racially segregated city.
Right.
And you can feel it, you understand it, because you can see it. It kind of lays out for you. I didn't know that about this place. And and I've heard some things because of some problems that have happened here this last year. And so I heard about it, but I didn't really, then I got here and we're in this area. And now that happened, and some conversations with staff and trying to understand this place is just as bad. So, I'm you've told me when I started doing comedy with you, the only way you're really going to get great at doing comedy is to travel and understand where you're going and understand the people and getting your jokes to work in every fucking city is part of is the trick to this job. Dude, I'm happy I traveled into these areas because I never was a big Midwest dude. And I'm learning a lot about this place that I had no idea. And it's changed the way that I think.
Yeah. And then the week before, when we were in St. Louis, as I get on my flight to go home. So I'm in the aisle. I'm in the window. I have a window seat. And I'm walking on the plane. And the white guy that I'm going to be sitting next to has the aisle. So he asked me, hey, do you mind if I have the window? And I said, I thought about it and was like, nah, go ahead. I'm cool. And then there's this black dude sitting across from me on the other side of the plane in first class. And this black dude is just by himself. So the white guy looks at me and goes, hey, would you two like to sit together? And I took a beat and I wanted to curse and say, what the fuck makes you think that we're together? But I didn't. I just went, yo, what makes you think that we want to sit together? And it'd be different if he saw me and this black dude walk on at the same time, chumming it up, laughing. Then I can understand why one might make, but even still with that, if I wanted to sit with him, I would have done that. I would have said, hey, you mind if me and my guy? But this black dude walked on 3 minutes before me. So he was already sat reading his book. I come in 2-3 people later. What made you make that connection? What made you assume that me and his brother want to sit together?
Because you're a black dude in first class, and it's like the Highlander thing. There can only be one. How could two black dudes be in first class and not know each other? It's impossible.
Twilight moment.
You must know each other. There can't be two black dudes in first class at the same time and not know each other.
You know, it really makes me go, not that you ever forget or you live in a fantasy land in your head where you go, slavery never happened. Racism doesn't exist. Only niggas that believe that wear leather shoes with no socks and tight neck necklaces. What do they call those? Choker necklaces. Niggas named Larry Elder believe that. But there's things like that. The nigger, let me grab your junk. And would you two black guys like to sit together that make you go, wow, this shit really happened. This shit is real, man.
I don't, like I said to you, I wish I would have heard her say it. And not that you need me to do anything for you. But I think I would have lost my mind.
And you know what? That probably would be a good moment for you to step in. Not that I want you to carry my weight, but I'm just going.
You're the star of the show too. So I mean, you're the entertainer. You came there. It fucks up your career if you
wow out.
Yeah, and get like now are we gonna be able to have this guy back
with the phones out? Yeah, you know, right.
Where if it's me, no one knows me, and I could say whatever I wanted to say. But
you're gonna be like my Key and Peele white anger translator, my nigga get mad translator.
I just it baffles me. It baffles, and you know why? Because not I'm going to take you out of the equation. Just put myself into this equation. Just solely me. I've made thoughtful removals of things in my set and things that I wanted to do because of how against your best judgment. But for me, I had to do it. And not that I'm better than that person or not.
Right.
But I made these changes based on how I feel about our times and what people are going through and what's happening here. Mm-hmm. And this lady just walks up as casual as can be in the middle of a moment where you're giving of your time to do something with them for a memory that they have. And her memory is that.
But what I'm just going, first of all, the word stupidity has to be included in that. God, I feel weird saying this, but because it sounds like there's no defense for it. But I'm also going, do you really think she was a horrible woman? Do you really think that she's an evil woman? Do you really think she's a bad person? And I swear to God, me saying no to any of those make me feel like, nigga, what are you doing? You don't dare defend that. So I'm not. But I'm going, what would make her think that that's okay?
And then that goes to where we started better than an entitlement. Because you must feel like you are entitled to say whatever the fuck you want whenever you want to. If you could just walk into a room and walk up to someone and be brazen about it this way. But here's the other thing, and I read these in comments all the time. And you tell me what you think, because I've watched these videos where someone is fucking spouting the word off and calling someone that word, and then and it'll be a white person saying that to a black, and then you'll see the other black people go, "I'd rather someone just be who they are and say it than someone who pretends that they don't say it."
Right.
So I don't know anymore. I mean, I know you as a person, and I know who you are, and if someone said that an attack, I felt that would have been an attack on you. I would have felt it was an attack on me, because I don't understand how you're giving of your time. You don't charge anybody for these pictures. You could easily charge for these pictures. I ask you all the time, how much is the picture? You give of your time because you want them to take this memory home with them, come back, be a supporter, be a fan. You do all the right things at these shows.
Right.
Fucking piss me off.
Okay, now let's get to the meat.
Are we going to go to this before? Since we're talking about this, and this is not on the. This is different, but I just want to say this. There was a gunman who held 4 people hostage. One of them a rabbi at a synagogue in Texas.
That's what you were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, and late last night, the FBI, the SWAT team, FBI, whatever, I don't know exactly, but got into the synagogue. They got the guy. Apparently, he was killed, and all 4 were released. I just couldn't go through not saying that I was grateful that they were able to get out of that. I don't want anybody to ever be held hostage for any reasons like that. And they all thought they were going to. I guess this was on Facebook. It sounded like everybody thought they were going to die, and they all they managed to get out. So I just wanted to say I was grateful for what happened, and not for what happened. I'm grateful that they were able to get out of there alive. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, you shot out your Jews. Yeah. Folks, you have to see it. It's called Women of the Movement on ABC and streaming on Hulu. I originally thought this was just a movie, a one and done 2-hour get in, get out movie, but this thing is a series. I didn't know that. And I guess there's a lot of story to tell, obviously. So rightly so.
So much more. I thought that I read enough that I knew what happened, and just in this few episodes, I got so much more out of it.
Right. So I don't know how many parts ultimately before this thing is done. You said you just saw the last episode. So is it done?
No.
Oh, there's more.
No, there's going to be a lot more.
Okay. So I had seen the first 3 episodes, and it airs every Thursday, I guess. Of course, this is the Emmett Till story. And, I got a couple of notes from what I said. Okay. Off the bat, and then I posted on my Instagram the movie poster. I wish I could get the of the real actors' names. Give me 1 second. And of course, the movie poster of the 2 brilliant actors who are in this. Forgive me. Okay, here we go. Cedric Joe and the woman that plays his mother, Adrianelle Warren. And then after that, I did one of those pictures where you swipe it and then there's another picture of the real of Emmett Till's real mother, Mamie Till, and her, I guess her boyfriend at the time or whatever. And there it is. There's Emmett Till's body and that face, the real, there's his body. We've seen the famous black and white photo. And it looks like a mask, like a mask that somebody made out of clay. And I just thought to myself, how the fuck could a human being do this to another human being, let alone a 14-year-old child? What fucking evil do you harness Where you go again, there's the fact that it's a human being. But then you go past that and go, this is a child, man. And when they in the series, when Caroline Bryant's husband comes home and asks her about the rumors about what's going on, something about you and a black person, they show his kids in the bed. So you don't even stop and go, I got kids. What if this was somebody doing this to my kid?
That, and then going from just that him beaten the way that he was beaten, and the face that you see,
right?
The sheriff. This is the insult to injury. The sheriff sees the kid when they take him out, and immediately wants the kid buried. To bury the whole incident. How is another human being do you look at what someone else did? It's one thing to be so fucked up that you could do that to someone else, but an outside entity looks at what has happened to someone. Because you saw a lot of the other people, and this is the movie, of course, but they're all like, oh, you can't look at this. Just don't even look at it,
Right.
And the sheriff is like, yeah, just put it in the ground and let's not do it. Let's leave it right there. That part to me, that's so crucial in the story to understanding that time period.
Well, you said something yesterday when I brought that point up, when you said they don't see him as a child. No,
they didn't see the people that I don't know the guy's name.
Brian, I think it was something. Well, obviously Brian. Her name was Caroline Bryant,
right.
But
they couldn't see him as they didn't see him. They saw him, whatever they wanted to see. They did not see another human being in front of them. There's no way you could do that. There's no way you could do that. You're either mentally ill or you have your human is fucked up. That you can't see other people as human.
Again, I know I've said this on the pod, and I said this was one of my lines in my stand-up when I said black people know not all white people are racist, but as a race, you guys are known for racism. And I mean, obviously, I'm sure there were white people who were just as horrified with that image and who would denounce that kind of behavior. But what's so hard to do as a black person is to remove yourself, especially from the immediate emotion of that moment. Because again, when you see that, when you think about that, instinctively, your first gut reaction is seething fucking anger. And you just, out of anger, you go, fucking white people. But again, we know not all, but between the history, the constant, nonstop continuation of the shit that we endure, it's almost like when somebody is your friend and they know you met, and let's say you're seething with anger right now, Andy, and as your friend, my job is to try to console you or talk to you, and you just go, yo, give me a minute. You gotta give me a minute. I know it ain't personal. I know that you ain't hating me, mad at me, but what you going through in that moment, you don't want to be touched. You don't want to be talked to. You need a second. So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, I know not all white people, but Jesus Christ, man, when you see that, your just first gut is motherfuckers.
I'm agreeing with you, but I have to even take it a different step, because when you say not all white people, and I'm only going at this moment in time. Let's just break down this moment in time right there in whatever. Where was this, Mississippi?
It was in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Okay, let's go right there. And when you watch this, and it's so I read, I get some information, I take it, I extrapolate, I do whatever I want. But man, the visual is so much more amazing when you can actually put it into a different perspective, and you can see the voices talking, and you can see the color in the faces. I mean, I always advocate that, we're all the same, but when I watched it, and then you see when you hear someone, when you saw what they do to us, and you really see at that time, especially at that time, what us was. And the reason I can really separate is when you watch it, you can see the people at the lunch counter, the white people at the lunch counters, even said, now they're just going to think we're all evil because of that. But that person never, that white person who even feels that way and then is speaking out like saying those other people are evil, basically. Right. They're going to think we're all evil, but doesn't have any animosity that they live with in life. They get to go to the lunch, they get to go to eat, they sit at the nice table, they can walk down the street, they can feel a certain way, and it doesn't affect them. And then you listen to the black folks and go, but what's going to happen to us if we say something? What's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to the people? And the white people can just move through that with no problems,
right?
And have an opinion. They didn't and then not and know that their life would still be okay, but wouldn't speak against it.
Right.
So the monster thing, when you say not all, but I understand it more than ever why it's said that way. Because it kind of is all.
Yeah.
Not that they would partake in it, but it was allowed to happen.
It's crazy because when you see this, you try to you put yourself in that situation. And I'm going, dude, as a grown man, as a 46-year-old man, if I had 2 or 3 white guys right now at gunpoint tell me to get into a car and I could kind of anticipate what may happen to me, I'd be terrified. Imagine the horror that 14-year-old boy had to go through as it was starting to dawn on him, I'm losing my life. The fear of set in right when they put the light in his face. And when somebody wake you up out your sleep, you need a second. Light in your face, gun in your face, get dressed, get in the car. The moment that stood out to me about that really fucked with me is when the kid went to go put his socks on. And the guy says, don't worry about your socks. Just put your shoes on. That's horrifying.
Even before that, to go up to another man's house and without any authority, feel that you have the authority to tell him that you want that boy and that you can go into his house. They just walked into the house.
Somebody wrote on the comments on the post, he goes, was black dude. He goes, what's crazy to me is they showed 2 or 3 shotguns in that black dude's house laying up against the wall, and you just gonna come and take mine? What? And this is one of my other notes, and this speaks to how crazy this is to me. But even when I saw some of the black and white footage of the real uncle, the black dude, and they showed Caroline Bryant and all that, and the media down and during the court proceedings and all that. The black dude, and I guess this is, he's a product of his time and his era
and place.
But he spoke, yes, no, sir, yes. And I'm just going, okay, if you make the connection, time, place, era, black people, he came from that, just not to remove far from slavery. You got to do with that white man. You knew your place. And I'm just going, so obviously he wasn't going to protect Emmett, his nephew, by saying to these white men, yo, you're not doing this. Because he'd have to entertain his own demise.
Exactly.
But, niggas is built different now. I have to believe that there had to be some black people. Maybe if you're from Mississippi, born and raised, that's just what it was. But even at that time, there had to be some black people that would have said no.
We'll watch the next episode And then it speaks to that a little bit as it moves on.
Well, you made a point where you said, and remember when we would talk about it, and I said, "Oh, I thought you were going a different way with it."
Yeah,
you remember that point you made?
Yeah, it was the point that I made is, and this is just it's not a great point, but the point as soon as if I was living in that time period, and I knew how white people were. And I heard them say that, like they said, "Oh, tell Chicago or whatever," and people were talking and they knew about it. I think all the dudes I would have thought that they would have just. I'm not saying that that's what they had to do or should have done. I'm just saying for your safety, I was surprised that they just didn't leave and go back to Chicago at that moment because it sounded to me
right
like if in a town like that, and I've been to a town like that in 1976. I was in a town called Tatum, Texas, which is very famous for a shotgun wedding when the person who owned the strip of the town and was the owner of the drugstore and the money the daughter got pregnant, and it was a 100% real shotgun wedding that they talk about. Yep, you're marrying my daughter. Yep, we're doing it now. Yep, it's happening. So I've seen that. And when I say 1976, and then you realize, and I didn't even realize this is how, disconnected we can be when we're not in it. When I saw I was watching today, I was watching the 4th episode, and it said 1955. 1950. I'm talking about 76, 21 years later, 21. Right. I'm in Texas. That's not that fucking far removed.
Right.
So, yeah, I get that. I understand that feeling. I was surprised that he wouldn't have had packed the kids up that were from Chicago and said, "Yeah, it's not going to work out down here," and got them out of here. Not that that's what should have had to have happened. I'm just surprised that didn't happen.
Well, I'm going to speak to that point, and then I'm going to tell you where I thought you were going. That was also one of my notes. I'm just going, if you live in a place where when you see a white man walking down the street, you got to go to the other side, or when he talks to you, you got to keep your head down and not look him in the eye. How do you go, "Yeah, I'm going to stay here"? Get the fuck out of there. And listen, the myth that kind of existed that made people feel like, man, life is better in the North. Yeah, it is better, but racism was just as prevalent there as it was in the South. Was it as intense? Probably not as, but it wasn't far off. It's just the South is where it was, as Dave Chappelle said, stewed to perfection. And I'm just going, again, this idea of, man, I was born here, I was raised here, I'm gonna die here. Really? You don't want to get the fuck out of that?
But they talk about it's what he knew, it's what he grew up in. And when he invited Emmett to come to stay with him, he said, we stay with our own. We don't have those problems. Don't follow us there. And I'm not saying
because it's don't go into town or stay over here. Yeah. Oh, what a horrible way to live.
But that's what he was. And if that's all you know, then it doesn't. How does that seem bad to you? If that's all you know, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying if that's all you know, and then as this progresses, we'll see that change happen here as in the philosophy and the thought process. But there's this beautiful scene where she's like, you haven't seen this. I'm going to ruin it.
This
for you.
part,
yeah, this part because it's not anything that. The story, but it's touching the emotional part that you're talking about right now. She's looking up and she says, "I just can't come inside because the stars are so beautiful here. Because you can see all the stars. There's so many stars. We don't see stars like this in Chicago. I just hope Emmett got to look up and see the stars. I hope that he saw them before he was killed." That's basically what
he was killed when they were out.
Yeah, but I'm saying there. That's what you know. It's beautiful. You haven't seen. I mean, if you take people away from shit, it isn't as bad. But it is the Mississippi isn't bad. The people there are bad. The people that let that happen were bad. The stars are beautiful. You grow up there. That's what you know. There's some beauty in it. It's the people that fucked it up.
What I thought you were going to say.
Why did she let him go?
Well, but that's one of my points. But what I thought you were going to say, and what I started to wonder is, Dave alluded to it in his special equanimity when he said that, the Emmett Till moment may have galvanized Black people, and when it was the start of the civil rights movement. I would think, why wouldn't 1,000 Chicagoans go, let us all go down to Mississippi and raise hell?
That was my stomach.
Yeah, that was your stomach.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they, in the name of Emmett, let's go down there and fucking powers and numbers and raise hell? But I guess this was still a time where Black people were scared and they just,
Well, one is, I have several reasons for it from just a little bit of reading. One, outside agitators. They would have been seen as outside agitators. A lot of people were stopped from coming down as well, arrested, because they had that kind of power. One. Two, there was no social media. The paper came out once a day. It gave you the old news. The newspaper technically gives you old information. It gives you 24 hours ago information.
Right.
So it isn't like you were getting up to date. And the papers were local. They didn't go out. You didn't get the Mississippi paper in Chicago. That took a while for the news. The news had to do it. And the news isn't going to publish shit that's going to cause a stir. So I think it was not only was it a different time, I think that racist powers had way more control of how things moved. Especially there, because people who were coming down were being arrested and stopped, and they were being detained as outside agitators.
Dude, I in the first episode, they established the family eating and shit and coming together at the dinner table. And that's when the uncle, was it the uncle? Was it his uncle?
I think it's uncle. Yeah.
He put the idea, hey man, you come down to Mississippi, we fishing, go to the lake, swimming, work with us, pick some cotton or whatever. And the mother was so against it. Her gut. She didn't want to send him down there. And I'm just going, as a parent, if I know what Mississippi is, dude, I'm not sending my child down there, man.
No.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not blaming her for what happened. Obviously, you can't blame anybody else but for the people who did it. But even my kids today, I remember calling my son when he was 21 years old and he was going to go do something. I go, listen, here's what I want to make. Listen, I said, you're 21. I can't stop you from doing whatever you want to go do. You can go do what you want to do. Here's my concerns. I want to make you aware of these concerns. Please be aware of these. At 21, in today's world, I worry about them that way. I couldn't imagine sending my
but he's 21 and you have no say.
Yeah, and I have no say.
He's 14 and you got say.
And top that off with, we're in that world. Doesn't have any way to contact him. Remember when they could try to find him, they had to go to a phone for someone else's house. So you know that you're only going to be contacted from letters. You have no control. If something goes wrong, you're not there in a few hours. It could be a couple days. Right. And I am not blaming her whatsoever, but I couldn't. And knowing what she knows, but as the story goes along, she didn't know how. I don't think she realized how dangerous it still was.
No. She realized it because she was the one that told him, don't look at him in the eye. Keep your head down. If you have to tell your 14-year-old those kind of rules, safety precautions, he shouldn't be going.
Well, and he was raised, and this is the other thing though too. He was raised in Chicago, and he said things like, "Oh, when those guys kind of egged him on,
oh, I'm a slick talker. I know how to."
Yeah, because he came from a place where he could do that, and to have someone. Listen, I don't even want to say this because it sounds like I'm blaming him, and I'm not. But when you have a certain way about yourself, and you have confidence in that, and in confidence, and you exude that,
you're Aries. You mean?
Yeah. And so you're going to go throw that out over here, and it's going to be fine. And when you can do that, not only do you do it, but then you excel at it and you get even better at it.
Right.
And then you have to go somewhere else that you're supposed to be someone completely different. And he doesn't know really how to do that.
And you're 14. So you're not even grasping the seriousness of this moment of what your mother told you.
So for him, just being a cool fucking kid, that's what happened to him.
And the uncle told him, don't go into town. But you're leaving your kids. Like, come on, man. Like you said, not to blame the uncle either, because who you blame is the motherfuckers that did it.
Yeah.
But somewhere, there's got to be some, I don't know if blame is the right word, but some of this has got to fall on the uncle. He told his mother, I'm going to look after him.
Yeah.
So how are you looking after him if you don't know what they're doing?
He told his kids not to go. They were old enough. They should have listened to him. Listen, I'm not saying that you should, I'm not going to take any of the blame and take it anywhere else but with the people who did this. But then let's get to the bottom of this, the things that happen with this. Do you have the civil rights movement start from there without this? Is he the casualty that makes the change? Can you there's a lot of different problems going on. Without that, without her being so fucking bold to say, no, I want it. Leave him alone. Put him in an open casket. Do you get this? Does this happen?
To be honest with you,
how many more years could it take?
I don't know, because not that many more years past that, we were still in the beginning stages of catching hell. Or not the beginning. We've always caught hell, but I don't know if you take the Emmett Till situation, if that doesn't happen, I think the civil rights movement still happens.
But when and how and what momentum? And listen, the other thing is about this, and to say this is going to sound ridiculous what I'm about to say, because when I say this, I'm saying this half tongue in cheek because I don't mean what I'm saying, but this is what the time period suggests. There's nothing that goes on if he doesn't just get a fucking beating, a life-threatening beating. They could have beat him not to pulverize him and then throw him in the water,
right.
But they could have beat him, let him live. Nothing would have happened to them. Nothing would have changed.
They still would have got away with it.
They would have got away with it.
Right.
He would have went back home. She would have been upset, but there wouldn't have been any the fallout that happened wouldn't have happened from this. They wouldn't have had this, and that would have been acceptable. Again, I'm saying
even the uncle was like, just beat him.
Yeah.
Or the aunt, or whatever. The uncle's wife was like, can't you just take him out and beat him?
Yeah. Like they were accepting that he deserved a good beating. And that's why I say I'm saying it tongue in cheek. I'm not meaning it, but I'm just. But isn't that's
if it's the lesser of the two evils, certainly.
But without the greater evil, does it get? God, I'm not.
That's how I felt when I was telling you about the white woman calling me nigga. Like, I'm not. It sounds crazy, like you're trying to defend or validate, because you're not. But my instinct is going, God damn, do I really believe this white woman is a horrible human being? No. What would make you say that, though?
A horrible life. I mean it seriously. A life that doesn't allow you to understand what you just said affects people. The only reason I don't do that joke right now is because I feel it affects people and not in the way that I want my comedy to affect people. And you're saying it's funny enough that it lives past that. And I do some shitty jokes on stage that I know affect people, but then I bring them back. My problem is with that joke, I can't bring them back if it affects them negatively.
That's a whole different.
But I know. But I'm using that to say,
right.
I do this for a living. I make it funny. I've had people to come up to me and said, man, I never thought that I would laugh at something like that coming from a white dude. And you made me laugh. And what I got from that is I said something that was so horrible, that would normally be perceived so horrible, but I was able to turn it around. And I know that person had that word used on them in a horrible way. And I took some of that pain away by making that funny for them.
Right.
And I'm limiting myself on that right now because I know I don't want it to affect anybody else that way. And she walked up to you like it was just like it was water. Like you might you might be a little thirsty. Have a little drink, right?
Right.
That shows that there's no empathy, no understanding, and you're living a life that's completely void of other people and their humanity. That's as far as I'm concerned. That's what it is to me, and that's why it's easy for me to say. And that's why when we're still saying, and I'm like, I understand all people. After I really watching that scene and watching white people move within that, man, I understand now. Well, and I'm one of the first to go, is it all people? And now I'm like, It's all white people.
Dude, I was thinking the whole time, and this is really my last note. I think it was, I don't know if masterful is the word to use in terms of how they did it, but I see why they did it. And it was something, what is the word I'm looking for? It was something, I don't know if it's artsy. It was something about the way they did it. It's like how you describe the thing about the stars. I'm going, are they going to show it? Are they going to show it? And obviously they're going to treat it with respect if they're going to show it. But I'm also going, how could they not show it? It's historic. It's actual, to the gravity of the moment. You got to show it. And when they started off, when she went to go see his body, and of course she starts off with his feet, which, because he was in the water, you could see how his feet looked, like how skin looks when it's wet.
Yeah, it gets those wrinkles.
Yeah, the wrinkles. So she was rubbing his foot. Then they cut back and forth between him dead and him born. And she rubbed the feet of the baby. And this is where I was like, man, that's some masterful way to do that. Because it's like, here's the life and here's the death.
Yeah, because if you don't show it that way, you almost don't humanize that body.
But do you need to do that? I mean, I don't know if you need to do that to know that it was human.
I think you need to do that so that when that last shot and you get the...
Right. So it was like, and that's when she moved towards the hands, I went, okay, I saw where it was going. Because it was his feet, dead, obviously murdered. Then the baby's feet. Then they moved up the legs and where you saw the stab wounds. Then they showed she's rubbing his hand, cut to the baby hand. And the moment they cut to the baby's face, I said, here it goes. And then they showed the Emmett Till murder face.
Because I don't think you get that fucking cringe, stark moment if you don't humanize and show the baby and what it's supposed to be. And then you're coming up to that face and you think you're going to see a face.
Right.
And then you see what looks, honestly, and I said a fish. It looked like a fish.
Right.
Looked like an alien fish.
Right. I mean, dude, when you see the actual picture.
That actual picture that you posted, I think is from not the funeral, but that's from the
body.
The autopsy.
Yeah,
table.
the autopsy. But and the thing about the picture I posted, he's laying down.
Yeah.
When you see the picture where it's face up, that is just to beat somebody unrecognizable. And again, I can't help but keep going, a kid. And that's insane.
And the picture that you see where you're looking at it, and this I learned from the movie. You'll see this when you watch this next episode really quick, and I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I will tell you this. He does the embalmer, what do they call it? The
mortician?
The mortician, yeah. The mortician apologizes to her and he goes, I'm sorry, but I had to fix him a little bit. People are going to see him. And I didn't change him, but I had to fix him. There's only a few stitches. So I think that from whatever, like gashes were opened or something, that picture that you see is cleaned up from how much worse it was. The picture the picture that you see that was in the media that you can see online, that picture's actually cleaned up.
I remember from the black and white footage I saw when they were acquitted, the two white guys, and then they did a little interview, and they were like, "How does it feel to know you're going home? It just feels good," and blah blah blah. And then Miss Bryant, how you feel about your husband being home? I'm just glad it's over, and I'm just going, and I'm not gonna get off on no religious tangent. But come on, man. If karma is real, come on, man. Them motherfuckers should have been dead 2 weeks later. I don't give a fuck what kind of freak accident. Hit by a car, a train, struck by lightning. I just can't fathom how you kill a kid and you get to live a natural life till you die of natural causes.
I can't make a justification for any of it. But what I can say is without them does the civil rights movement happen the way that it is?
Well,
and I'm not giving them a prize for
I hear
it.
you, but it's unfortunately we have to pay the price for something like that.
Yeah. I'm not putting it or minimizing it. I'm saying the best way that you could look back at it today, not at that time, not at that day, not at that lifetime, is to give Emmett Till's family the credit of being leaders, even though that his life was cut short, that he was a leader, that he was a part of a movement that is bigger than whatever was imagined at that time.
Let me tell me if you think this is just silly, but this is just my belief to some degree. I feel like the reason why black people excel so much and are so much better at white people at things, sports, some of the things we've invented, bigger dicks, better dancers, more soulful, more cool, more hip. Maybe this is our consolation prize.
No, there's two things.
Maybe God said, you know what? Y'all have endured so much shit. I'm going to make y'all the baddest motherfuckers on the planet when it comes to being able to outdo people. You run faster, bigger dicks, you're cooler, you're hipper, you're slicker. Everybody wants to act like you. Like, you sing better, you're funnier, I don't know.
I'll give you, maybe it's because it's a consolation prize, because as you're looking, and I'm going to use some NBA players because it's the easiest way for me to give a visual to it. But some of the NBA players, they're coming from war-torn, savage countries that have gone through horrific lives, and people who are young. And if you're 20 something, you've come up with your whole life knowing nothing but war and death and debris in those areas as well. And those are the people that are coming in to games like the NBA, and they're excelling. And there's something. And I'm not praising this, but I'm being honest about it. There's something when you come from hardship, when you come from a hellacious situation, and
look at you, hellacious,
and you endure, and you find a way to not only endure but to excel. You have lifted yourself above those that didn't have the same kind of struggle. And we're seeing this because now you see white folks that are playing NBA fucking basketball in a way that you haven't seen before, that are playing, and they're coming from a lot of these places that they're coming from, are these kind of places. So it has something to do with that. And because you said that, though, I do want to say one thing that I realized from watching when you see these old clips of movies, when you see, not movies, but newsreels, when you see television and they're doing it in period, and they're getting it right. This is so funny about this country. I remember growing up and you just said about excelling, and you would see like a football game and you'd see the black dude, do a dance or something. And then you'd hear the announcer, well, I don't know why they have to go and do that. Because they just do the same thing. Yeah. And culturally, how black culture, there's always been this thing from coming back from the white community, that it's loud and it's like it's aggressive, and it's just this whole other kind of culture that we've seen. And that's probably, I'm going to say that's about from 80s. I'd say that's kind of where the time that kind of really came into play. But when we watch this, and when I'm watching this and I'm seeing 1955, and I'm seeing her in Chicago and her having dinner and seeing how everybody's dressed in the house, and it's all very similar to how white folks are, and they're moving through America as white. And there was always this thing at that time, America, and the buy-in to America when you're what's that called? When to meld, to become part of the same culture, to identify as American. And you can see that in all this. It was America. Actually, every time there was that community, the black community would excel and do well as an American, that they were beaten, pushed down again. So when white communities start saying, well, it's louder, it's this, it's that, it's not the same as, it's different. They forced that growth.
Right.
There was a period in time when I think you were going to see in America where everybody melded, and it was going to be an America that was one, if they would have allowed that to happen. And you can't blame black folks for that happening the way that it did. White people did everything they did to keep it from happening. And that's how we are today, where we're still divided and looking at things completely opposite.
All right.
You got an extra 40 minutes of it, and it got in. We went to some territory. I think our racial discussions have changed, though. They sound slightly better, I think.
Oh, it just depends on what we're talking about. You know, we you know, what's that term in basketball? Take what the defense gives you. You know, so we just roll with what we got.
Yeah, that's true. All right, man.
Okay, so let's call Women of the Movement. And I'm just curious because it says Women of the Movement. So I'm wondering when this is over.
I think we're going to get
another one. Yeah. Okay. And if they're talking about the movement, they mean civil rights.
I'm assuming.
So they'll probably have a Rosa Parks one, you know?
Would assume?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We don't know.
I know. I would assume. I mean, I think that we're going to have some. I think there's going to be, but I'm thinking,
I hope that they do, like Rosa Parks, Betty Shabazz.
I would just. I hope that they. I would hope that that more people. I hope. I don't know how many people are watching this. I haven't got numbers to say this, but I think this is one of those moments that I can actually say this when we're talking about women's movement, women excelling, women doing well, and we poke a little bit of fun out of the movies or whatever. But I think this is a great moment. I think these are great to show women who have pushed and have struggled and have been part of movements that were unrecognized.
Black women,
especially.
Make sure we say that,
but especially black women,
right?
And show that because I think there's a lot that is missed throughout history, especially from black women, but women in general, but black women. And I think some things from, you know what, I'm going to save that because that's more divisive. So I'm just going to say I think it's doing an excellent job, and I hope we get more of it.
Well, more of it, but I also want to echo what a lot of black people say when they go, "We're tired of watching these films. We're tired of the struggles. We're tired of seeing us get beat and taken advantage of, and slave movies. Let's balance it out and show more movies like Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
Where we're the heroes in real life situations and facts and history that ain't got nothing to do with whips and chains and subservient roles and, you know, shit like that.
But
so, yeah.
And I think but isn't that all part of this? I think this is all what's coming from all of this, though. But you have to understand the history as well to get to the recent. But you know what? When we say that, what was that year? That was
1955.
That was 55. Hidden Figures is 68.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about a very tight time period. Right. It's all in that same period. And I think it's important because I think that whole part of history really was never taught of women's success. Because men controlled all of that at that time,
right? Especially
white men. So how was a black woman going to be given any credit, notoriety, or history?
Right.
So yeah, I think it is good, and I like that they're doing it, and it's real, not just in place of.
Right. Tell people where we're going to be. I got to grab something.
Okay. We are going to be next week, starting on Friday the 21st. We're going to be in Cleveland Improv. Yeah, can I get you something? You guys won't know that. I'm sorry. 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And then the following week, Aries will be at Denver Improv on the 28th and 29th. A quick 2 days, in and out, 4 shows. Get your tickets now to go see Aries at the Denver Improv. And I will be back in St. Louis. Again, only on the 28th and 29th. I'm only doing one show each night at the Garage at the Helium St. Louis at 8 p.m. So if you can get out there, I'd appreciate you guys coming out if you're in the area. The following week will be the beginning of February, which the 4th through the 6th will be in San Jose Improv. We haven't been back there in a while. That should be exciting. California is open, hopefully still at the beginning of February. And then the following week, Aries will be in Houston, at the Houston Improv, the 10th, 11th, 12th. You're not doing the 13th, huh?
And where? Houston?
Houston. No, you're not.
What day is it on? A Sunday?
Sunday, you're not doing it.
Are you sure? No, I'm pretty sure I'm doing it.
Maybe they're going to add a date. But
right. I'll always do it.
Okay. And I will be in Indianapolis, and I'm going to be doing my record, recording my record at Helium Indy on the 9th. And then I'll be there for the rest of the weekend, opening up for whoever. I'm sorry that I don't mean that to be disrespectful. It's not Aries, and I didn't check who, but they didn't send me that in my date. So I will check and follow up on that next week's podcast. But I'll be at Helium in Indy on the 9th doing the album recording. If you can come out for that, if you're in the area, I'd really appreciate it. And again, Aries will be at the Houston Improv that week. And then very excited to announce the 17th through the 20th, we will be, and that's obviously February 17th through the 20th at the DC Improv.
Yeah.
And the following week after that, the 25th to the 27th, we will be in Louisville at the
Louisville, Kentucky?
Louisville Comedy Club.
Holy shit. I haven't been to Louisville, Kentucky since they had the Improv there, which closed down. So this is a different club?
Yeah, it's Louisville Comedy Club.
Home of the champ. Hey, man. Come to Louisville, man.
And if you're Will Smith, how is it?
That is Will Smith.
Is that how Will Smith did it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm the greatest, man. But you know, Louisville, Muhammad Ali, he has to come to Louisville, Kentucky, see the greatest. That's where I started my boxing career. And everybody knows I'm the champ. And I'm so pretty at first. I've been knocked down, but I've never been knocked out. Joe Frazier, Henry Cooper, Chavalas, Tillis. I fought all the greatest fighters. I'm the greatest. All right.
So that's the rap. What do you got on music?
Before I give you the rap on the music, again, I mentioned this on the pod. The older I'm getting, I really like documentaries. Folks, Amazon Prime, it's called TV in Black, the first 50 years. Gotta see it. It's a great documentary.
What's it about? It
just chronicles Black people in television from the start all the way to present date. And it's just a nice, and they got a bunch of comedians. Tommy Davidson is heavy in it. Just talking about, the strides Black folks have made in television.
Well, I'll just give you the Hispanic version though, real quick.
Andy, no one cares.
No,
Brad Butler, yeah.
My quick documentary. I'll give it to you. Desi Arnaz in the Lucy, I Love Lucy, and then Freddie Prinze in Chico and the Man. Okay, we're done.
Okay, back to Brett Butler. TV, when niggas first got an opportunity, we were the butlers and the maids and the servants, and we did everything that white folks told us to do. What a glorious time. But times are changing. The Negroes are taking over, and the white man will use the Negroes to boost their networks and run out of the starting blocks hot. But once they get where they need to get, they drop us off. Television. Brett Butler, yeah? Check out the darkies. All right. Steve, on a side note, when I had listened to last week's episode, you didn't play the Aries ad. Remember, we got to do that every other week. So just throw that in there for this week if you can, just before I introduce the musical guest. So let's say you did it, coming out of that. 3, 2, 1. All right. Coming up, this is, it goes by the name Veli, Veli. Of course, here's my YouTube link to my track. And of course, he didn't give me any of the other links. Oh, boy. The song is called The Shot. All right, folks, that's it. Enjoy. Love y'all.
Hey, Steve, real quick, where he doesn't have any, when Aries goes, he doesn't include the link. Can't we put that music with the wah, wah, wah?
Yes, do that. So when I say he didn't include his shit, find a place to go, womp, 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 or the womp, 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 womp. Yeah.
One of those.
Good idea.
All right, man.
We out?
Yeah, we out.
We out. All right.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, well, it was hosted by Aries Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Klein-Schmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us, visit SpearsburgPod.com.